Hey everybody, here I am with another hard drive that I want to do that test again with the open lid and kind of see how far it gets. I did it a little different, let me show you. So again, this is a drive that's at 88%. It's a drive that it is working, but it's not a drive that I'm going to put on a new computer. So basically it's going to get trashed pretty much in this little video. So I have it here on the Rapids bar. So it's booted up. It's already reading. You got the partitions there. It did already its checks. Everything there, data is accessible. And everything on the drive is good. It was able to find the file structure, and we got even the data, right? I mean, I don't think there's a lot of information on this computer, on this hard drive. My PC. Right, so not much. I think it's like a fresh installation or something. But at least that's there. Now, I got all the screws already loose except this top one. And that's the first one I'm going to take out, because I'm wondering if the removal of this top one, which I believe goes through, I think it's kind of the spindle of the head. So let's see. I'm going to take that one out. Now we still got to kind of pry this thing open. You can't see what I'm doing because I got the camera in my other hand, but I'm going to put the camera down a second. I don't have like a stand here. See if I can open it with the camera in my hand. Let me get something better to pry with. Little screwdriver. Whoa. So yeah, as soon as you open it, you hear the airflow. So we're gonna find out what happens. And it shouldn't be reading right now, so. But I think it is true that airflow alone disrupts the heads and the reading and all that. So I'm just gonna pop this off right now. And yeah, that thing is spinning full blast. Let's see what happens. It's kind of like there in the middle. This is out of place. Whoa, this thing is gonna fly into I'm just taking that out. It's like a little filter there. And right, this screw, actually no, yeah, that screw goes right into this hole right there, into that. Let's see if we can read this drive with this going on like this. Damn, there's like nothing on this drive. Let's go to, I'm gonna just go to Windows, a Windows folder. I'm in the user. What's interesting is that head, that's strange. Right, so I'm going through the different folders, and this thing is not moving at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to recover. Set it to recover this user folder, see what happens, because it's not moving. Let's see what happens. So I set it here to recover, so it's got to start reading. There you go. Let's see what happens. Actually, it is reading. That was quick though. Okay, so here I set it to recover 8 gigs, like a Windows folder. Let's see how much that head moves. It doesn't move, barely. And it's showing reading. It's recovering. So this is more interesting than a previous video that I did, which I opened it up and then I kind of started the drive and it just totally failed. Could be that this one, when I opened it, it's already spinning. And maybe the inertia of its, spinning is keeping that, head in place and all that. I don't know. Just a cool little test. I would expect to see that head moving all over the place. That's so weird. But it's reading. Oh, there it goes. I guess what it was reading, everything was in the same place. Yeah. And the way that this recovers is it probably recovers everything in one area at a time, as opposed to the head flying all over the place. So pretty interesting. So we recovered 2.5 gigs. With a wide open, non-clean room hard drive. But I opened it after it was already mounted. So when I opened it, it was already spinning. I'm gonna abort that. We got about 5 gigs. So I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna power it down and then power it back up and see what happens. All right, so powered down. The parking on this one you see is in the center. And I'm going to power back up and see what happens. No problem at all. Let's continue to... So 500 gigs. I'm going to select the whole drive for the recovery, see how far it gets. So there I've selected, the thing is there's not 500 gig drive, but there's all in all about 15 gigs recovered. So you can see right there, it just starts from the outside. I am really surprised at how little the head moves. I would have thought the head would just be flying, you know, all over the place. Not so much. But again, it could be because of the software that this is using for the recovery. So I'm going to try something different. I'm going to do an image. I'm going to abort that. You could see here, I hadn't shown you this, but that's the recovery there. So, 3 gigs, it's reading. Green is, all red. Red as in READ, right? If there's, bad sectors, they turn red, RED, the color. And everything's green on a wide open drive like that. There's probably some drives that are more sensitive than others, because I've done this on, I think, 2 other drives, and they immediately, as soon as you turn them on, that's it. No good. They just get all messed up. So you can see. That thing is reading and it's smooth. So let's try some other stuff here while we're at it. We're going to abort that. And let's try imaging the drive. And I'm not going to do this intelligent. I'm going to just do traditional. Yeah, let's try the traditional there. See what happens here. This traditional is linear. I think it's front to back or back to front to back or back to front. And like that, I think that's really not going to move because it's going through each track at a time. So let's flip this around. I'll come back over here again. Let's cancel that. And we're going to go image. But here, so you got starting from where? I'm going to start it like in the middle. Let's see if this moves. So we're starting from the middle to the end. Let's see. I'm going to click and let's see if this does move to the middle. A little bit. Go click over. Yeah. So now we'll go reverse. Come back here again. And this traditional, right? But backwards. Beginning to end backwards. Let's see, what does it do? Is it going to start from the center? Yep. So here's, one example of how not so sensitive the drive are. At least this one. Like I said, I've opened up 2 others, and they have not, spun up. They spun up, but they started making noise and just, never mounted. But this one here, you can see it wide open, right? We're here in, my shop. And I've been recording for 14 minutes, so it's been running for pretty much at least 10 minutes or 12 minutes. Wide open. Remember, you need a clean suit and a bunny suit and all that kind of stuff. But apparently not. This is a Seagate. 500 gig Barracuda. This thing is pretty resilient. I've stopped it and started it a couple of times. Interesting. I'll stop it again. What I really would like to see is it, going all over the place. Let's find, let's do this. I have a couple of, that's one of the partitions that got mounted while it was closed. I'm gonna go to one of these other partitions. Well, these partitions don't have anything on them. Let's see. Well, 500 gig. Let's see. I'm gonna go to that and try to mount this tree and see how that affects that head spinning. Yeah. Not much. If I had it mounted on Windows here, it'd be interesting. So I would actually open up files here. The files are just there, but I can't really. Open up a picture or a document or anything like that. I'm going to kind of wrap it up. I really don't have any, probably do some other things later on, but I'm going to wrap it up there. You can see, like 15 minutes. Basically just got a drive that I had, mounted it so it was already spinning, and it's been open for about 15 minutes. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to shut it down. Shut it down right here. Parked in the center. Off. And I'm going to power it back on, but I'm going to show it to you here. It's not taking my power. Try it again. Or let me try it. Nah, it's not taking the power on. Maybe it's just a button. Let me try it on screen. Oh, I got it. I got to respond here to the screen. No. All right. I had a prompt up on my screen. So you see, once the drive has to initialize, it starts up, and then the head goes out and reads whatever areas are necessary. So I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to power it down. And I'm going to go here to this, which I already did. I'm going to go to the Nebula Diagnostics, because I want to see when it reads it, it goes through finding or what are the different settings that it goes through. Well, I can't see them now. But basically it initializes and does these tests. So let's see the effect on here. Go. All right, so it's going to power up on its own, and then it's going to run through those tests, and I'll go verbally what I see on the screen. Waiting for drive to initialize. And I believe that's where it gets the initialization information, all the way on the other side. The drives that read, that park, I think on the outside, I think they get that information from the inside. So initialize okay, generic diagnostics okay, smart okay, so it read the smart data. Accessing drive ROM, came back okay. So this part I had done prior with the lid on, just to get it to mount and get it to do all that. Right now, accessing translator. So you see a lot of movement there. Checking media heads. Complete. Heads are good. Project is loaded. And yeah, it remounted everything back up. Let's load these file trees, get them all green. Actually, there's nothing there. So, I guess they're not turning green. And then this is the main partition. Again, we'll select the whole thing. Recover. 15 gigs. And let that run. Now here, this software, basically it recovers and it goes onto this drive here. So whatever 5 or 6 gigs have been recovered would already be over here. So it doesn't, reread the drive. So very interesting. Very interesting. Wow, 20 minutes. It's been running for we're at 22 minutes. And we probably started 2 minutes into it, so it's been running for about 22 minutes with an open cover. That's crazy. And I'm gonna call it a wrap here, just playing around, testing how resilient are these hard drives, how important is really that clean room. They say a little speck of dust create havoc inside a hard drive. I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just kind of doing some videos of, what I see in front of my eyes here. All right. And that's what's going on right here, right now at PC, you got it, 911.